Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS, and Washington Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news, so let's talk about a wild rumor that's been swirling around the NFL lately. A potential blockbuster move involving Dallas Cowboys wide receiver CeeDee Lamb and the Washington Commanders. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is that really happening? Well, it's just speculation for now, but the buzz is so strong that it's impossible to ignore, especially considering how much it could shake up the division and the NFC landscape as a whole. And for Washington fans, this could be a game changer, a move that might finally give us that extra edge we need to contend for a Super Bowl. First, let's set the stage. The Cowboys, sitting at 5-5, have been pretty inconsistent this season. After their recent loss to the Texans, Jerry Jones was visibly furious, and honestly, who can blame him? That loss was a huge blow and exposed some of the cracks in their roster, especially on the offensive side. Meanwhile, CeeDee Lamb has been one of the few bright spots for Dallas. Lamb's stats are nothing short of impressive. Last season, he caught 98 passes for 388 yards and 11 touchdowns, averaging about 82 yards per route run, which was among the top in the league. His PFF grade of 94, an EPA per target of 0. 48 tell you he's not just a receiver. He's a game changer, a true difference maker on the field. But what's really interesting is Lamb's contract situation. He's reportedly asking for around $34 million a year, which is a substantial number even by NFL standards. Dallas is obviously in a tricky spot because they're trying to balance their cap space while also keeping their star wideout happy. The rumor mill suggests that Dallas might be willing to part ways with Lamb, especially if they get a solid package in return. The proposed trade package includes a second-round pick in 2026 and a first-round pick in 2027. That's a pretty hefty price tag, but for a player of Lamb's caliber, some teams might consider it a worthwhile investment. Now, why would Washington be interested? Well, if you look at our current receiving core, Terry McLaurin is solid, but we've been missing that true game-breaking wide receiver who can take the top off defenses and consistently produce big plays. Lamb could be that guy. His ability to create separation is top tier. He's +1 yards of separation against McLaurin, which is significant in today's NFL. Plus, his contested catch rate is +22%, meaning he's reliable in tight coverage, a trait that quarterbacks love. Lamb's skill set could elevate our passing game dramatically, especially if paired with a young quarterback like Sam Howell, who's been showing flashes of potential, but needs that elite weapon to truly unlock his arm. Let's also consider the projections for Lamb if he were to join Washington. Analysts are suggesting he could surpass 600 receiving yards next season, transforming our offense from a mid-tier unit into a top 8 aerial attack. Right now, our passing offense ranks around 20th in the league, which is disappointing considering the talent we have on paper. Lamb's addition could push us into the upper echelon and make us a real threat in the NFC, especially in the playoffs. And speaking of the NFC East is historically one of the most competitive divisions in football. The Eagles are still strong, the Cowboys have their moments, and the Giants are trying to rebuild. But if Washington makes a bold move and brings in a player like Lamb, it could tilt the balance of power. Imagine a secondary that has to respect Terry McLaurin and Lamb simultaneously. Defenses wouldn't know who to prioritize. That opens up endless possibilities for our offense, and it could take us from pretenders to serious contenders. Now, you might be wondering about the odds of Washington pulling this off. The betting lines have shifted significantly. Initially, the Cowboys' odds to win the Super Bowl were around +80, but with the possibility of a major shakeup, those odds could improve dramatically, down to around +500 if this move materializes. That's a huge jump, and signals that the market perceives Washington as a team on the rise if they land a player like Lamb. Of course, all of this is speculation for now. The NFL trade deadline is always unpredictable, and teams often hold their cards close to their chests until the last minute. But it's fun to dream, isn't it? The idea of Lamb catching passes from Howell, leading our offense, and transforming the Commanders into a legitimate playoff threat is pretty exciting. And if the deal happens, it wouldn't just be a game changer for us. It could also significantly impact the Cowboys' future plans, especially with Jerry Jones under pressure to deliver results now. Let's not forget that Washington has been building steadily this season. The defense has shown flashes of brilliance, and the coaching staff has been working hard to develop the young talent on the roster. Adding a receiver like Lamb would boost our offensive firepower in a big way, giving us the tools to compete at the highest level. The NFC East might be heating up, but with a move like this, the Commanders could be the ones setting the pace, turning heads and making everyone notice that we're not just here to participate. Now, for the fans, this kind of speculation stirs up a lot of excitement. We've seen how crucial a top-tier receiver can be in recent Super Bowls. Think of players like Cooper Kupp or Justin Jefferson, and Lamb has that kind of potential. If he joins Washington, I believe he could become the focal point of our offense almost instantly. That's the kind of player who can make a difference in close games, especially late in the season when every yard and every catch counts. Plus, with the momentum we've been gathering and the potential to make a playoff push, having a weapon like Lamb could be the final piece we need to reach the promised land. But of course, there are questions too. Can our front office pull off such a deal? Will Dallas be willing to part ways with Lamb, especially for a package that includes future picks? And what about the chemistry? Will Lamb adapt quickly to our system? These are all valid concerns, but the upside is huge enough to justify the gamble. Washington fans, we've seen the team make bold moves before. Remember when we traded for Chase Young or signed some of our key free agents? Sometimes you have to take risks to get the reward. Looking ahead, the NFL landscape is always shifting, and with each week, new storylines emerge. But one thing is for sure, if Washington manages to land CeeDee Lamb, it will be a major headline across the league. It could turn our season around and give us a real shot at making a deep playoff run. The NFC is wide open, and with the right pieces, we can be right there in the mix. It's an exciting time to be a Commanders fan, and I for one can't wait to see what the future holds. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential move? Do you think Lamb would be the perfect fit for our offense? Would you be willing to see us trade future picks for a player of his caliber? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news. We're building something special here, and every bit of news, every move, every rumor adds to the excitement. Keep the faith, keep cheering, and let's see where this wild ride takes us.